What's good, people? It's Link, and welcome to my beginner's mini guide to Insane on Gears of War 3. For a lot of you folks who follow me in the WikiGameGuides community, you already know that I've made quite a few of these beginner guides, and I want to do one for Gears of War 3, but not really the full game from beginning to end. I think John's done an excellent job of doing that. But I did want to touch on some of the sections that may be a little bit tough for some people, and give some of my tips and strategies, and show you what I did to get past those harder sections. And if you do follow me on my YouTube channel, you'll know that I'm doing a Let's Play live Insane run for this game. So and I'm putting about a video out one a day. So at the time of making this video, I'm only in Act 2, and by the time I get to Act 5, a lot of people may have already beaten it on Insane, albeit through like a frustrating experience like I did, and or B, they may have just given up on it and traded it in, or said good riddance to it forever. So before people do that, I wanted to go and kick out this guide, this mini guide, if you will, and kind of put it out there to help some folks out. So just to go back a little bit, beginner's guide, if you're unfamiliar with this format, essentially these guides are meant for folks who are trying to beat the game on the harder difficulty, but let's say you get stuck in a section, you go watch a guide online, and this guy's just tearing up through people. He said, that's how you beat that section. You just shoot 10 people in the head and you're done. Well, if you can't do that, then what the beginner's guide will do, or what I'll try and do, is go through that similar section and analyze it, maybe play through it 30 or 40 times, and try and find the absolute best way, the easiest way to get past it, while exerting the least amount of effort, gaming wise. So it doesn't mean you don't need good dexterity or the acumen to beat these type of games on the harder difficulty, because if you can't get to the points, at least in this mini guide that I'm talking about, if you can't get to these tougher sections, if you're having trouble with that, then you may want to go back and play on hardcore or even normal and get that gaming experience in your belt before you start tackling Insane, especially on Gears of War 3, which is by far the toughest iteration from Epic of their series. So yeah, here are some of the sections that I think that are tough, and here's what I did problem solving wise to make it a little bit easier experience for you guys. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first arguably tough section in the game is Act 1, Chapter 2, Abandoned Ship, the Leviathan boss. Now I say arguably because for me at least, it wasn't a really tough section, but if you're playing this game for the first time on Insane, I don't want you to give up. And this may be the first time that you say to yourself, alright, this is dumb, why am I trying to play this game on Insane? No way I'm going to beat it. So this is actually not as hard as you think. You can go to the top tier and to the right, where most guides will tell you, and I believe John's guide tells you to do. But if you're having trouble staying up there, because first time I did it, when I stayed up there, I kept on getting killed by the little spider, lambent spider looking things, and it only takes 2 of those things to kill you, and they kept popping up behind me, and my teammates did a horrible job of taking them down. So what I did instead is just stay down here and just take them out from this level. Now you gotta understand though, once you put them down the first time, which is here in a second, obviously this is a boss, so you're gonna have to do it 3 times. Start aiming in this vicinity here, because those spiders are gonna come after you, and again, your teammates are not gonna do a superb job of keeping them away from you. So just do what I do. Stay here and wait for him to come back, and while you do that, just keep taking these little lambent things out. Not too hard, right? Easy, faux cheesy. I think I just made that up. Okay, so here comes the second time. Obviously, you're gonna want to keep fire on that eye. Now, if you hit A, you'll go to your stationary position and shoot rockets. I would not recommend that because in this, when you're fighting him the second time, you're gonna get a mixture of not only having to shoot his eye, but you're also gonna get the some of the lambent come out too. If you're not careful, they'll attack you while you're trying to, like they're doing exactly right now. They'll attack you like they're doing and sneak up on you and kill you. Unfortunately, this boss does not have any checkpoints through the 3 times you have to take him down. So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Don't get silly. Don't get stupid. Just be patient. And as you can see here, I'm trying to get to the top tier because I know for this particular section, it's just some of the lambent that are hanging around. But you got to be careful because I believe one guy shows up behind me here in a second. And let me see. Yep, here he is right there. So you got to be careful with that. Make sure that you don't get killed. Die a silly death. And then the third time you have to attack him, you should be in the clear with all the mini lambents running around, the soldiers and the little spiders. So you're free to go to the top here and put all your firepower into this leviathan's eyeball. And that's it. You're past the arguably first tough section in the game. And you may be saying to yourself, hey, this isn't so bad. Well, okay. It's gonna get a lot tougher. Just throwing that out there. But stick with it. Stick with it. Alright, let's get to the next section. Alright, Act 1, Chapter 4, Helping Hand, the dual gunker bosses on the bridge. So, I know John has a really good strategy for this. So if this doesn't work for you, see his guide on WikiGameGuides.com, and he has a pretty good strategy for this section as well. But here's mine if you can pull it off. Make sure you got a boom shot. I repeat, you need a boom shot. And before these pods have a chance to spawn, just blow them up. Like so. That's it. You don't gotta worry about any enemies. And this section is done and over with. Now this, I will say, this part did take me probably 7 or 8 times to get my shot down perfect. So just a word of advice, that wasn't as easy as it looked. But it can be done, as you can see. Alright, move on to the next one. Alright, Act 1, Chapter 6, Hanging by a Thread, also known as the zipline part. It is very important, I repeat, very important that you have boom shots here. If you don't, this section is just going to be damn near impossible. And or grenades. If you have 4 grenades, that helps out too. So here's what happens. As soon as you land, this gunker, within 1 second, will hit you with his gooey thing of mess, whatever. So the first thing I do is jump to the left, let him shoot that first shot that he's supposed to kill you with, and then come over here. And then here's where you're going to want to use all your boom shot. You just want to pop out of cover real quick. Make sure you're not dying to any super silly deaths. And believe me, you will probably die, unfortunately, to some super silly deaths. And then just unload on this guy until he dies. I almost die here. In fact, it's coming up. Yep, look. Oh! So close. And even when he's taken care of, don't get careless and run out there. So you can see they have one lingering guy. And he's taken care of it. Got the checkpoint. And hopefully you get that checkpoint too. There are grenades here, but I would not suggest going for them. That gunker is so quick on that gooey thing of death that you don't want any business of it. Alright, let's move to the next one. Alright, Act 2, Chapter 1, Shipwreck. The brumak part. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I'm really just going to show you where you want to go. As soon as the game starts, you're going to want to go all the way to the back where the ammo's at. And if I'm not mistaken, in John's guide, he stays on the back of the container right there. But in this guide, well, not guide, or in my Let's Play, oh yeah, you also got to be careful for locusts rushing up on you. This guy caught me off guard. But anyways, for my Let's Play, I decided to stay in this container and it worked out fine as well. So either way, the back of the container or the inside of it, just make sure you have ample room to dodge, jump dodge, just in case he shoots those rockets and it looks like it's going to hit you. So that's it, and you shouldn't have any problem with the brumak. Real easy. Okay. Act 2, Chapter 4, Trench Run, the Corpser. Alright, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. Just quick tips. Easiest way to beat this part, run around, hip fire, make sure your teammates are up. So if they go down, run over to them, pick them up, because that's what distracts the mini corpsers from attacking you. And then the kind of the mid-adult teenager ones, these big ones, just throw grenades at them. And when they're not paying attention to you, paying attention to your teammates, just make sure and shoot them from behind in their sensitive areas, and there won't be too much of a problem. And the only kind of trouble part with the corpser is the last part when he runs around like a maniac. It's really easy to die, but again, like I said, they put a checkpoint there so that this boss won't be too frustrating. So enough of this guy. Okay, Act 2, Chapter 5, Hijcak, Gas Barge Landing Tower. This part's tough. It's really, really tough. And I spent about an hour trying to do my, use my beginner's guide magic to no avail. The way the game wants you to play is the way you're going to have to play it. You're going to have to play Ring Around the Rosie. First things first, as soon as you come up here, you need to take this cover out. And then always, and I mean always, put this tower between you and the gas barge. Because you'll die so many times to that cheap grenade shot that the thing keeps on shooting. As you can see those little crevices in the ceiling, I've even seen them shoot some of those rockets, or I don't even know what the hell they're shooting at me, to be honest. But I've seen them shoot in between those little holes to get me. So you're going to need a little bit of luck on your side on this one. And more importantly, every time they drop off enemies, you need to do your best, your absolute best, to take them out as fast as you can. Like I'm trying to do here. As I'm using the torque bow, it is highly recommended prior to getting here. And it is quite a long trip with not a lot of checkpoints, unfortunately, to get here. But getting here is not really hard. It's just a matter of patience, and make sure you don't die a lot of silly deaths. And believe me, I did a lot of that. But once you do get here, make sure you have torque bow ammo with you, and or boom shots. And then these guys will drop off, or some of them will drop off torque bow ammo. So now here I thought about using him as a kind of a meat shield, since I needed my covers kind of dissipating. So it kind of worked out. So use that too, especially if you can get a downed opponent. But I'd really stick to the method that I was doing, is hit one with the torque bow, and then get your teammates to help out on the other one. See, I messed up on this one, but let me see. Trying to remember how this played out. Luckily, my teammates helped me out. Yeah, the teammates cleared them out. As you can see, this is the second to last drop of enemies. Yeah. And I've gotten to this part too and died, and oh my god, it sucks so much. And this is the last drop off. Now once you see the barge land, make sure and take some really good cover. Do not rush. Take your time. And okay, it looks like it's gonna make one more trip. I'm telling you, man, this part takes a little while, and it is not friendly with any checkpoints whatsoever. You don't get any. And like I said, you do need a little bit of luck on your side. Not get those rocket launchers coming hitting you in the face. That's what you would really want to do there, is hit both of those guys with the torque bow ammo. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the barge lands here. I kind of go for the gusto here and get some extra ammo. I don't think I really needed it, but I went for it anyway. And I believe take out a couple more guys. And yeah, you gotta be careful and can't let them board your little platform here. Because Theron guards, at least in my experience in Gears of War 3, have a real affinity for coming after you. So that's it. Again, it's tough, but stick with it, and you shouldn't have too much trouble with it. Alright, let's move on.